Hello, and welcome to the UVMtv election special. I'm Jordan Schiller, reporting from Burlington, Vermont. In just 1 week, Vermont will be one of 13 states to vote in the Super Tuesday presidential primary elections. This primary will determine which two candidates will be facing off in the general come November. On the Democratic side, polling suggests that Tuesday's election in Vermont will be an absolute blowout in favor of hometown hero Bernie Sanders. Senator Sanders is the junior senator from the state of Vermont. In 1972, he ran his first election in the state for U.S. Senate and got only 2% of the vote, running as a third party. In 1980, Bernie won his first election, becoming mayor of Burlington, Vermont's largest city. And now in 2020, he is a frontrunner in the race for the White House. Polling aggregate site 538 has Sanders looking to win about 50 to 60% of the popular vote in Vermont, with a very strong possibility of sweeping all 16 of the state's pledged delegates. At a very distant second is South Bend Mayor Pete Buttigieg, who is looking to win about 13% of the popular vote, himself followed by Massachusetts Senator Elizabeth Warren, who is polling at about 9% according to an RCP poll. Vermont has a reputation for being a very liberal state, but a closer look shows us that the more rural areas of the state lean more conservative. Bernie's work in the Senate for the dairy industry has done him a good amount to be in the good graces of those voters in those rural areas. Latecomer to the race, Michael Bloomberg, will be on the ballot. While the outcome of the primary in Vermont is definitely going to be a Sanders lock, what will be interesting to see is if any of those more moderate candidates can break the 15% threshold to come away from the primary with any of Vermont's delegates. Vermont has 16 of the 3,979 total delegates in the race. To be the nominee on the first ballot in the convention, a candidate would need to get 1,991 of those delegates. In comparison, Vermont might not seem like a very important state, but in a very crowded and very close convention, it is going to take every last delegate. On the other side of the aisle, Vermont's Governor Phil Scott has endorsed former Massachusetts Governor Bill Weld in the Republican primary over the incumbent President Trump. Phil Scott, a moderate Republican and governor of a liberal state, called for President Trump's removal from office during the impeachment trial, and is again breaking Republican ranks by becoming the first governor to endorse President Trump's sole primary challenger. Weld's campaign hasn't been taken very seriously so far, so it'll be interesting to see if he comes away from Super Tuesday with any more delegates following Phil Scott's endorsement. Neither of Vermont's senators are up for re-election this cycle, and at-large Representative Peter Welch is facing no serious primary challengers. Two-term Governor Phil Scott will be up for re-election in November, and primaries for that election will be held on August 3rd. Turnout is expected to roughly match that of 2016, when 200,000 Vermonters came out to participate in the presidential primaries. Vermont has some of the most accessible voting laws in the entire country. Primary voting does not require a declared party affiliation, and you can register on the same day as any election. So any Vermonters who will be at least 18 years of age by the general election in November can come out and vote on March 3rd, Super Tuesday. That's the scoop from the Green Mountain State. This has been UVMtv, signing off.